At what point were you like, because I think people do it younger than us now.
Yeah.
Because we were just like personal trainers that got everyone strong and body composition was huge. What point were you like, nah, coaching competitors is a thing that I really want to do?
Yeah. I think because I went back and forth from, if you take out the distractions from the coaching, because, like we scaled our business and I feel like that took away from like me being able to like really double down on just contest prep. So I would say like post lockdown, I've doubled down on just people who like value the way they look as how they train. And then there's people who want to pursue the sport. And then there's just people who live the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So I would still call them physique clients. They just don't choose to do the extra step.
Yep.
So I would say I doubled down on that, 2019.
Yep.
Because we scaled our business and I was a bit like, I don't know, like what I'm going to be able to do. I had to like, take days off work and, we had to kind of commit to working on the business and stuff. So I feel like that made me change my expectations of like what I could potentially do as a coach. Because I was like, I'm going to have a team and run all this shit. And then, like kind of once we'd done it and then come out the other side and like we remodeled the business.
Yep.
I also realized that I still really, really like coaching. Because when you scale and shit, you're like, oh, I'm going to be a business owner. I'm just going to like fucking, I don't know, sit around and play golf and shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hang on a minute.
You won't, by the way.
No, absolutely not. But then you're like, I came to the realization, I was like, I'd love being a coach.
Yeah.
Like I love coaching and I don't really see myself kind of dialing back on that. So then I just doubled down on around that time.
Yeah.
So then was like 4 years, 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Yeah. So I think looking at that first phase of both of our careers, there was I think for me it was when you went to Europe. Before that, I was just like, the only aim up I need is Jason. Because it's like, you've done a degree, you've coached me, you've got a full book, like I can help you with sales. Yeah. But like in terms of training, I don't need to learn from anyone else. Yeah. Like that's enough. And then, because you were young and had a shit business, you went to Europe and I was like, I don't even know if I had a program. Maybe.
Oh, I can't remember.
And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do for 6 to 8 weeks? Like I need to go find something. And then that for me was when I went down the rabbit hole hard of like education. Some of it good, some of it terrible. Yeah. But it was education. And bought right into learning everything possible about body composition change. And that was with the intent of my own body composition change, and everyone that I was training wanted body composition change. Yeah. Whatever other goal they said, they also wanted to look better. So went real hard down that rabbit hole. We obviously, in this podcast, is all about business. I think there's a lot of people that go the education route that don't have enough clients to apply it. Yeah. And I think that's where people get caught. Or you're just like money sessions. And you
just get caught in the business. I did that.
The education part.
Yeah.
So I think you need a good balance of both. And we were absolutely obsessed with it.
Yeah, we doubled down pretty hard.
Yeah.
Which I would tell everyone to do.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend every cent.
Because you should, because you love it.
Yeah, spend every cent you can on making skills better.
And minute, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I remember like getting up reading like meta-analysis data and shit.
Yeah.
Over breakfast.
And just trying to... Remember how excited you used to get like booking a seminar?
Yeah.
Because they didn't happen as much, but now you can do like Zoom and so much, and you can go on YouTube.
Now it's like there's too much.
Yeah, well,
where's this one piece of information I need?
You kind of almost need to like, just there's like a person you kind of get along with, like even just virtually, and you're like,
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, you're my guy. Yeah.
So I think whatever side of the camp you're on, if you're just pumping out sessions, sales, business, you're not getting heaps of results. You need to double down on education. Yeah. If you just double down on education, you don't have enough clients to apply it, you need to get your business sorted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is obviously why we built Standout to have both. That's something we put in our like us versus them things. Like there's both there because you need both.
Absolutely.
What do you think it was? Reese was circumstance, became one of our coaches, trusted us.
Yeah.
We've got the skill set. Let's do it. Ben was a long-term client.
Yeah. He never lifted a weight before training with me.
So built him into a physique athlete.
Yep.
Who was after that? It was a while.
Katie again. And I had...
Was it Mick after that?
Mick and another lady and another one. I don't know, I've done a lot.
Were they all came to you for competition or you built them into competition?
Nah, they came. Oh, one of them was a client of mine.
Yep.
And then the other one I got for the prep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And then,
So after 3-4 shows at Good Life, Point Cook, you were the bodybuilding guy though, right?
Yeah, I was. I definitely was.
Because you competed, you had other competitors.
Yeah, and I had a lot of clients.
Pumping content about it, and then had heaps of clients get in really good shape that didn't compete.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So three of the first 5 competitors I had, I created.
Yeah.
Like they were my clients and then decided to bodybuild.
Yeah.
And then I had others that wanted to do bodybuilding and hired me for it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. My very first sanctioned meet was 50-50 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like signed up 2 of them because they wanted to do powerlifting and the other 2 signed up for coaching and I was like, we're going to do a lift off. And then after that, we're like, you probably should compete.
Yeah.
You're really good at this. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
But I would say over my career, it's probably 60-40 built.
Yeah.
And most of the ones, even inside that 40, there's probably only 10% of the people that have come to me and said, I want to compete. Maybe it's a bit more now, but especially early, most people were like, I just want to get strong. I want to do this. I'm like, cool. And then eventually let's do
you got
comp.
it. Yeah, I know a lot of the powerlifters that I had, they only did it because I said, hey, you know that you have a total for X.
Yeah.
If you did this, you would be here.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. Because if I liked powerlifting, I could have done the powerlifting coaching side of it. Because it was the same. Like you have the system, you have the programming model, and then all it is coaching.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the lift breakdown? What's it supposed to look like? How do you get in the mind of the lifter to make sure they perform?
Yeah.
But there was a lot of them that you wouldn't have done it unless I said, hey, you could
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, really? So I think there's a little bit to that as well. Like for those people out there that are like wanting to coach a certain caliber person, you've got to be able to see potential in people and be able to communicate it to them so that they can believe in themselves as well.
Yeah.
Like I've even got one of my boys, so we're catching up on Monday to go over like what a prep could look like.
Yeah.
I remember saying to him like a year ago, like, dude, you've got the genetics for this.
Yeah.
Like you got the work ethic, but you've also got the genetics. I'm like, I can see just off this photo what that could look like.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not for me, this and that. And then he was just like, hey man, I've been tuning in over the last 6 weeks. This looks really fun.
Sick.
And he's like, I just want to, we just got to try and match it up with work. Like, I think he does like, really long hours and stuff. But I just said, yeah, cool. But like, I said, I've said it in the past and then he's piqued his own interest. And now it's like, oh, coach has kind of said, I've got it.
Yeah.
And then I like it.
Yeah.
Monday's conversation doesn't happen unless you do that.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think from a framework standpoint, if it's your goal, so we obviously speak mostly to big box gym people. And we've had people on the podcast that come in like, I worked in a big box and I hated it. So I went and like just did powerlifting coaching off the bat. And then like they made it eventually.
Yeah.
But they had to work for someone else. They had not many of their own clients. Like they had to find a different path. Doing very good, very well now and successful. But the path is obviously a lot different. And the values are probably different to what we normally engage with its people that want to run a business, they want to do their own thing, but they also want to coach this, like you said, caliber of athlete. So it comes back to having a framework that facilitates that conversation. So it's setting in body composition, time-sensitive goals, putting... How many photo shoots have we done? Putting those kind of frameworks in place.
We did like one a year until lockdown.
Yeah.
And then we've done like, one or two a year.
Since
2021.
Yeah. And sometimes different states.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 3 a year. Yeah. So yeah, I think putting in frameworks to be like, we're going to do a photo shoot, we're going to do a team testing day, we're going to do whatever.
Yeah.
To then facilitate people to be able to find their potential.
To get an outcome. Like you and I find a lot of people, one of their weakest links inside their business is they're not results driven.
Yeah.
So you look at all the holes that they have, and it's like, they're unfulfilled with the people that they have. They're maybe struggling with their business, or they're, not making enough money, or a combination of all those things. And like more often than not, if you break it down to their coaching philosophy, and then they just become like a place to hang out and work out.
Yeah.
Like they're not results driven.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you look at the people that train the caliber of client that they want, they're results driven people.
Yeah.
They're doing the time sensitive stuff, the planning, holding people accountable, either a face to face or, external check in.
Yeah.
Because everything's around results. What you're hired to do.
Yeah.
Which is get the outcome.
Yeah. If you guys are hearing because I think I can hear it in the headphones, it's fucking pissing right now. So.
I think it should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So putting that framework together. So testing days if it's strength, events if it's like athletic performance. Like I took 6 clients to Tough Mudder.
Yeah. You used to do those performance tests, remember?
Yeah.
Once a month?
Yeah, every month.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't do it once a month now, but
yeah,
it'd take a little bit longer.
It worked for Gen Pop.
Yeah.
Because it kept them focused for a really short period of time.
Yeah, true. We change the program more often because, they get bored and shit.
Yeah, and it was a check-in day, measurements, reviews, pictures, performance, which was cool. Worked really well. I had a really interesting conversation with a coach. So he ran essentially a lift-off, like a lifting competition. He actually tried to do performance and lifting, and no one did performance. So he just did the lifting part. I think like a few of his clients did it. And we found the same, like getting those group ones to crack were really hard.
Yeah.
I think because we were results driven, and it's like it's not tangible enough for them. So he ran this event. It went really, really well. He's about to run a second one. But he just had someone from his gym, because he's the strength guy in his gym, be like, can you help me with competing? So he just went to his first meet. I'm like, do you want to do this again? He's like, yeah, I loved it. He goes, it was a bit boring with one. And his client didn't deadlift as well. So he traveled fucking 6 hours and for 6 lifts.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like the best one too.
Yeah, 100%. That's the fun part of the day. So I was like, okay, we've already got this next lift day planned. Who have you got that got the last one that's planning on doing it? When's the meet that we can get you to, travel-wise, because there's no powerlifting where he is in the country. Who have you got that did the last one that has potential that you think would commit? And he was like, there's probably like 5 of them. I'm like, okay. So say you approach 5, you get 3. You do this lift off, see who's performing really well. Like, you've got it. Invite them. And then go do a meet together.
Yeah.
Get a fucking minibus. Go stay at some shared accommodation. Go to the comp together. All wear your shirts. It'd be fucking mad.
Yeah. Everything just snowballs.
And he was just like, oh my God, never thought of that. I'm like, you want to become the strength guy in your town, let alone your gym. Like, what better way to do it than load a minibus up of people, go and have a sick time, and come back and
document it.
How outside of all of the business shit, how much are you going to learn? Putting the pressure on, because the lifting day and the comp is 10 weeks apart. So I'm like, so you're going to soft peak them, so the recovery's short, drive them right in. You could just tell, like, the thought hadn't crossed his mind. And I was like, if a lot of people out there that are like, I'd kind of like to do that, but I don't know how, start with it internal. Yeah. Pick the people that enjoyed it, committed, wanted to go to the next level, because there's money involved going to the next level. And then just be like, let's do this.
Yeah, I think if you go into it with the mindset that like you just grab the fucking bull by the horns and you make it happen.
Yeah.
It happens so much faster. Like everyone wants to, I guess, have that scenario where like, you know, they get one person, it falls into their lap, they do really well, and then, you know, everyone sees it, and then all of a sudden everything just starts coming, you know, through in terms of leads and stuff. Like this is a very rare case, but it's obviously the most polarizing. So people are going to be like, oh, that's how you do it. When the rest of the people are like, just like, it's up to me to do this. So I'm going to, do the lift off, and I'm going to tell this person they have the potential, and I'm going to say, like, I'm going to go and look and go, this is when the comps are.
Yeah.
And tell them you're doing this comp.
Yeah.
On this date.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I built my team.
They just want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
And they just want to know that if coach says I have the potential, like think of the fucking confidence they're going to have, man.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's literally how I was doing it. So we do a lift off. Did you enjoy it? Yep. All right. We're going to compete. We are doing this meet.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yep.
Especially when it was just Melbourne. Like we're all going to this place on this date and we're going to do this competition.
Definitely.
Okay. So along the way, I feel like this is a breakthrough season for you. Amount of competitors, quality of competitors.
Absolutely.
Kind of have one here and there always.
Yeah, this is this was the greatest caliber season for me.
What happened? And when? So lockdown now is 2 years behind us, 3 years behind us.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 2021, I think.
So 3 years behind us, you decided I'm working with body composition change. Focus people only. Top 3 priorities is this. That's all I'm going to speak to on the internet. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, yeah. I immersed myself back into bodybuilding as well.
Yep.
Yeah, like at a personal level. I don't think it didn't hurt, you know. And like, if we're being real, like I pushed myself from a physical perspective to make sure that I attracted, you know, a certain type of person.
Yep.
And I feel like that does help because no one wants a fucking small bodybuilding coach.
Yep.
You know, like especially when you don't have the knowledge and the expertise.
Or
so the runs on the board. Yeah, that's it. So I just got back into bodybuilding at a personal level. And then, I think I just cultivated a culture with a group of people that I saw potential in. And I feel like that just manifested across the whole group.
Yep.
You know, and again, like I still created people like, you know, Matt, like everyone looks at Matt now and they're like, oh, he's fucking 133 kilos. He's massive. Is this and that? It's like, you see Matt's first check-in photo with me.
Yeah.
There's no way you believe that he could look like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because I helped him reach his potential.
Yeah.
So I think, there was little unique opportunities that bring attention to, you know, because he's a guy that brings a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps. But it's like getting results. Like I'm obviously results driven with that. But at a personal level, I immerse myself into bodybuilding, and I just talk about it all the time. Yeah. You know, get myself in shape all the time. Talk about living the lifestyle all the time. So even though like I wasn't like a competitive bodybuilder, like I was like a hobby based bodybuilder who still lived it, who still lived it and represented it. And then now I just make sure that I hold myself and my guys accountable to that, and I feel like that's what people see. You know, and even the amount of results that have been churned out since I've gone online, I feel like is 10 to 1. Yeah, like I know, because it's so results driven.
Yeah,
we have face to face at a Good Life gym. Yeah, is relationship based. Yeah, you know. So then you go online, and I just just the amount of proof is there. Yeah. So I think that helps. You know.
Do you think it's a access to a different clientele? It's
of course it is.
And then the type of person that hires an online coach is different to the face-to-face coach. So they're already further down the road.
Oh, yeah. Well, the caliber of people that I was working with at Good Life is like some people who'd never trained before. Yeah. And people who like it wasn't that important. You know, let's be real.
Correct,
you know? But it was about...
So your percentage of...
getting the most out of what you had.
Your 30, 35 clients, your percentage of ones that are demons...
It's 10.
Is not high.
It's 10,
online,
10 of
it's
the
like, I'm going to go get 30 of those 10 because I can.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then where you're kind of just making the best of a situation with your Gen Pop face-to-face client, because it's just like they're not willing to make these wholesale kind of lifestyle changes. You could never take that mindset to online. Like I just don't. You know, especially with the fact that I'm working with someone who's like, I want to look the best I ever have.
Yep.
Then it's like you have to hold yourself to this standard, and you got to squeeze as much out of them as physically possible, even if they don't think you can squeeze anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like all the years of like doing the coaching face to face was good for us.
Yeah.
Because we could communicate in a way that like, it was kind of like last week, you know, someone's like, they look the best they've ever looked, but it's still not good enough.
Yep.
For the pursuit that they're trying to go for.
Yep.
You and I have the skill to say that in a way that makes someone feel hungry, not defeated.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know,